Is this 15 going to lead us to yet another disappointment?
There's been a lot of talk about the provisional squad selected for the World Cup and a lot of debate amongst people in terms of players who've been included and excluded from the squad. So we thought we'll discuss the playing 11 that the selectors might come up with and then justify their selection.
And of course, at the top, you'd have Rohit and Jaiswal. You'd have Kohli coming at 3, Sky at 4, followed by Dubey, Pant and Pandya. And then you go into the bowlers that are Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh.
Now let's address the elephant in the room and talk about why Rinku Singh doesn't make the 15 in the first place. One of the main reasons I think is because the selectors weren't brave enough to just drop Jadeja. We all know how Akshar Patel deserves the place in the World Cup squad. Kuldeep Yadav has been doing well for the Indian team in the last year or so. Chahal has been picked because of IPL performance, but you cannot look past it. He's played for India, he has that experience, he picks himself again. And Jadeja hasn't really done anything special apart from the fact that he is known as a clutch player and a superstar and all of that. He comes with a reputation. So picking 4 spinners is not a big deal, but picking 2 spinners who do exactly the same thing is so unnecessary and they shouldn't have done that. So picking Jadeja meant that Rinku Singh has no place in the squad.
Now the other and probably more important point is the fact that the team balance is such that Rinku Singh might not be able to find a place in the playing 11. So currently the team has 4 specialist bowlers and the 5th bowling option will be split between Dubey and Pandya. So in essence, if Rinku Singh had to walk in, that would mean either Dubey or Pandya missing out, and that means that you would lose out on the 6th bowling option, which means you have just 5 bowlers who have to bowl their entire quota of overs. And this is definitely not ideal in a tournament like the World Cup. And that would also mean that if India need that 6th bowling option, they would have to get in an extra bowler, which means they're playing a batter shot. And that also means you have an extended tail, which is not at all ideal.
According to us, Rinku Singh should have been in the squad. He's done everything right to be in the 15. It's just unfortunate that Indian selectors are what Indian selectors have always been. They are not brave enough to make decisions to get people into the squad who deserve to be in there.
Now, obviously, there has been a lot of discussion around players such as Gaikwad, KL Rahul and Natarajan, even Sandeep Sharma to some extent, not making the cut. Now, the case for someone like a Natarajan and Sandeep Sharma is fairly simple. It's just got to do with the fact that they have not played international cricket in very long, and you can't just drop someone like that straight into a tournament like the World Cup, especially if you are an Indian selector. You just know that something like that, something this drastic, is not going to happen, irrespective of how good their numbers might have been.
Now, talking about KL Rahul and Gaikwad, for those of you fans out there, they were never going to make the cut, regardless of how much they scored. Especially Gaikwad with an IPL strike rate of 137 and an international strike rate of 140. You aren't going to make the same mistake you made the last time in the T20 World Cup, having Gaikwad and Rohit open with Virat Kohli at number 3. The top 3 are very linear in the way they go about their innings. It's the very same style. It wouldn't have made a difference if you pick KL Rahul or Gaikwad in that sense, and we know how KL Rahul is going. He's not the same as he used to be in 2016, 2017, where he had a strike rate of over 150 while he opened. And the Indian selectors wouldn't want to make the same mistakes. It comes as a surprise because Gaikwad is in good form. He's one of the orange cap contenders and everything with KL Rahul, but to select them would have been one of the biggest mistakes they would have made while selecting the squad.
Of course, coming to the IPL picks from the 15 in the squad, that's Chahal and Samson. Now, I don't think there is too much debate around the selection of Samson. He's been performing well this IPL. He was given a long rope in the T20Is recently and he fared okay. He didn't do the best. But I think this IPL form of his has definitely solidified his spot and he might even feature in the playing 11s in the tournament. Same is the case with Chahal. He has all the international experience. I would even go as far as saying that he's been unlucky to not feature in a single World Cup up until now, and I think it's time that he got his due, and that's where I think he picked himself in that 15.
Now, one pick that's been talked about a lot is Mohammed Siraj, and that is a very interesting case because he did play the T20 series against South Africa and he did fairly well, and then he took a long break because of the test series, and then he comes into this IPL with the most disastrous performance, and you would wonder why he's been picked. So do we. But a lot of international pundits are on his favor. They're talking about how this IPL performance shouldn't lead to him being excluded from the T20 World Cup because he's done well with the international circuit. It's the same as Jaiswal to some extent, who didn't have the best of forms in the start of IPL, but we knew he was going to get picked regardless. It's the same case with Siraj, but hopefully Siraj does come good in the international circuit in the T20 World Cup, and that's probably why the Indian selectors went with the familiarity and the experience that Siraj has with Harshdeep Singh sitting with them.
Alright, so this has been our video and our thoughts on the 15 that have been picked. Obviously, this is subject to one final change around May 25th. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be too much change in the squad. Will we see Rinku Singh back again? Let's see, time will tell. But let us know your thoughts. Definitely like, comment, and share. Most importantly, subscribe so that you can stay up to date with what's happening in the world of cricket. Thanks for watching.